All right, so here we go, guys. Lights, camera, in action, and it is showtime. First and foremost, before we even go ahead and get started here, I just want to tell you all that I miss you guys. Last week, I was down, but I wasn't out, and I wasn't for the count. And with that, just so happy and thankful every single time I get an opportunity to come on board here and just do one of the things in which I truly, truly love. It's always an honor and a privilege. And it's just absolutely incredible. But I also know something too here that with Facebook, it looked like they did some kind of modification, something about the stars, and I have no idea what that's all about, but kind of fitting that since they have the stars, just want to let you guys know before we get rocking and rolling here that we have with the Small Business Network here, along with Transformation Greatness, and along as far as with our amazing co-hosts and partners, we have created the Talent Expo, which is amazing. I did a post, guys, and I want you to go ahead and check that. And this is for all those that, if you think that you got talent, we're looking for singers, actors, we're looking for artists, we're looking for those that's very talented. And now it's time to really put your skills as far to the test. So if you want to know more about the Talent Expo that we got cooking, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me or just go back as far as through my on my page, and you can definitely be able to check that out. And if you want more details, by all means, definitely do so. So with that being said, guys, I don't want to take up too much time here. I'm very, very excited because Transformation Greatness and along with the Small Business Network podcast, we are building and we are definitely moving and grooving. This is actually episode 45. So I need to make a correction. And I do apologize, everyone. This is not 46. This is actually 45. But it's all good because guess what? Our special guest that's going to be coming on, she is someone that is amazing. And before I go ahead and tell you a little bit about her, she is someone that we have been friends for quite some time. She is an entrepreneur. She is someone that is really making things shake in this universe. And I'm just so happy and thankful actually to be bringing on board the one and only Mrs. Tina Kong, aka Rock Me All Night Long, hailing all the way here from hot, well, no correction, not hot, but very cool Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So give it
you.
up, ladies and gentlemen, for the one and only Mrs. Tina Kong. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Clap for me. Come on. Dr. James, do me a favor. I want you to be clapping as well. Come on now. Everybody, I want you to raise your vibrations up. All right. All right. Awesome. So first and foremost, how are we doing on this fine Wednesday? And welcome aboard to the Small Business Network
Thank
podcast.
you, Mr. Shawn White. I told myself I was going to have a thing for you, Shawn White. Always ready for the fight. I don't even know. Definitely not a rapper.
That's what
Definitely
I'm
not.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Come
No,
on,
I'm
somebody.
doing I'm doing great. Arizona got some snow all over the state. It was incredible. We usually get that up north, but I walked out this morning at 4:30 and it was all over the floor and the car, or the floor, the ground and the floor, the ground and the cars. It was all over the place. It was pretty cool. It was pretty
Awesome,
cool.
awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into it because, like I said, we know each other for quite some time, and
Mhm.
I'm just very proud as far as of all the work and which that you've been doing, and I definitely know your story. But a lot of people, as far as that's probably hopping on, don't know who you are. So if you can just introduce yourself to the audience and just let them know who are you.
Okay. So my name is Tina Kong. I go by my maiden name these days. It's a lot shorter to just say Tina Kong. Plus, it just draws attention. I get questions like, "Where am I from?" And I get to kind of start up conversations that way. I am. I think I've always been a professional relationship builder. I think I've been a connector my whole life. If it's not for me, it's for someone type of a thing. And I feel that there's always a business out there, my business, your business, someone else's, and someone's always looking for it. So I'm always keeping my eyes open for people. And sometimes I think I build other people better than I build myself. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just chalk it up to I'm not the most greediest person on the planet, maybe. So,
Interesting.
yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that as well. And before we move to our second question, just want to just say hello to everyone. And if you're catching us on the live, if you're with us in attendance, put in hashtag live. Let us know exactly, guys, where you're tuning in from. If you know me, you've been following me for quite some time, and also with my guests, you know that we love dialogue. We love interaction. So please, if you have questions, by all means, put it as far as in the comment section. If it's something that resonates with you, let us know, because that gives us energy and fuel, right? So we have here my business partner, Dr. James, in the building, aka the Mad Scientist. And we also have here Miss Stephanie Treasure, aka Triplet, in the house as well, which is doing absolutely powerful and huge things as well. So shout out to you, Miss Stephanie. So let's jump into the second question here. So what is your brand or your business?
So I'm going to have to say that well, I'm just going to share the industry that I'm in. I am, I am in the nutrition business, as well as the get healthy financially business. And I say that in the sense, so the health and nutrition, it's all about what we're putting in our bodies, what we're doing physically, how are we thinking, how are we talking to ourselves when no one is around. That is the business that I am in. Financially, I really think that there was a point when it was 2020, and I was one of the many. I can't say I was alone on this. I can't do the poor me. I got let go, and after 31 years in the healthcare industry, and I went into the beauty industry. And as much as I love the beauty industry for both men and women, I think it gives you some self-esteem and some empowerment that nothing else really does. I still miss the health care aspect, helping people get well. And I just took it to a whole new level. I was tied into the senior industry. And I'll really tell you what really sparked it. It was in 2018, I was given the news that I would be fighting a very aggressive breast cancer. And it was my doctor, actually, that doctors don't usually do this, but she put both her hands on my knees. She could tell I wasn't really mentally in the room.
Right.
And she gave me this. She's been doing this her whole life. She has been helping women and men through breast cancer. And she said, she gave me her credentials, the length of time, how many surgeries she's done. Some have been probably more aggressive than mine, and some people catch it earlier, and the treatments are a little bit different. But she put both her hands on my knees, and she asked me to look at her. And she said, I'm going to tell you something both scary and empowering. She said, I can do this, but you have to trust me on my part. So that's the nice, take a deep breath kind of a thing. She's in control, and she knows what she's doing. But then she said, but only 10% of this is me. You have to do the rest. It's 90%. This is in your mind. If you're telling yourself that you're not going to make it through this, you won't. She goes, but if you trust me, this is not what kills you. And I couldn't believe it. This whole weight was lifted off of me. And from that moment on, I knew that I had to get better, because that's what I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I wanted to help people, both men and women, old and young, to be able to feel like, okay, I'm not alone. This person's got me. And you know what? We all have an expiration date, and I don't know where she came from, but I don't think it was her talking. I think it wasn't. I don't think it was my expiration date. And I did everything I could mentally. I knew that that's the only job I had, was mentally. So when I was going through, I learned a lot about food. I learned about what I learned that there are some foods that appear to look really good for you, but it's the upbringing of the food. The farms might be doing something, and before all this happened to me, I was using Roundup. I'm not going to lie, but now I use vinegar and baking soda. So, we learn as we go. But my goal is to not, if somebody will just take a moment with an open mind and open heart and a mental eye on things, just look that there might be another opportunity, another option for you. And so So I am in that business. My brand is actually being, it's going to be relaunched. So I am not at liberty right now to say what the name of the company is, but I can tell
Okay.
you it's the only one on the planet, and it's larger than life. We're going to be opening up next Monday. We're going to be opening up in 14 markets, and we have conversations going to open in 100 more. So it's not ever anything that's ever been done in network marketing. So for something like that, I don't know if you've ever felt that you missed the boat on Amazon or Google or Apple or Mary Kay or, any of those, Microsoft. It's just, I knew I had somebody come to me in the late 80s, early 90s, and she said, Tina, you'd be really good. You've got that personality. You could talk to people, and I've got this thing. And she has this prototype of a flip phone, and you pull the
Mm,
you pull the antenna out, but it was small. And
right.
she said, and she's holding it, and she says, this is going to be in every pocket, every purse, every office, and every home. And I'm not in my head, I'm rolling on the ground laughing. I go, that's a little Star Trekky. That's like,
Right.
I don't even think that's because it was so far past my right now that I couldn't see. And I'm sitting here talking to you on my cell phone now, and
Exactly.
I don't get paid to have it.
Right.
So I'm not missing that boat again. So this is something really huge. I'll be rolling it out on the 20th, and I'll definitely be sharing it with your group and my groups, and just really making sure that people have an opportunity to at least get versed on it. I can share a little bit, but I'm not going to do it here because it'll take up too much time. But if somebody's interested in catching the boat early and not missing it, there's nothing else like it on the planet. It's just going to be an incredible opportunity to serve. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Before I jump to the third question, something in which that you stated, and I want to go back to this because that is something that is amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to catch this, and I want to take my time with this. You stated that when you was at the doctor's office, and that when you was fighting breast cancer, what was so profound is that when a nurse told you that 10% of it came from her, but the 90% was up to you. Reason why I find that so profound, ladies and gentlemen, and for all you entrepreneurs, I think you know as far as on where I'm going with this. And even for those that may be thinking about as far as becoming an entrepreneur, starting up a business, 10% of what you're going to learn, the strategies, the different techniques, the day-to-day operations, right? All that, it may seem like a lot, but in theory, it's only 10%. The 90% is believing that you can do it on a day in and day out basis. And that's the reason why with mindset, this is the reason why that I'm so adamant about it, because I know as far as on what it has done as far as for my life, because if I didn't really apply myself to the 90% in terms of the mindset and the continued growth and just stepping outside and just seeing on what, I'm capable of doing and stepping outside that comfort zone, if I didn't do that, then there would be no transformation greatness. There would be no small business network. Me and Dr. James would never had a conversation. So I love how the way you said that. And if you guys missed that, I want you to go ahead and watch this again and really listen as far as to her story, because it's going to definitely spark something in the right person, most certainly. So let's go ahead and jump into our third question, shall we? So what would you say that with everything that you have going on, right, with your brand, your career, your business, what problems, I guess I want to ask, that your brand or business actually solves in terms of the marketplace?
That's a great question.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
that's
I
a
know. I just thought about it.
Did you? It's a great question.
No, it did. It was a collaboration effort. I can't take all the credit, but
Okay,
yeah.
well, it's a great question still. So, I will say that in 2019, 2020, one of the most Googled, two of the most Googled questions was, how do I stay healthy naturally? People were starting to realize there was a lot of extra stuff we have a farm here that we were fighting tooth and nail to not have come in, and they came in. They are the owners of Roundup, and they're like 8 miles away from my house. And I mean, it's scary, but at the same time, you learn, you know, what you can't have. Sometimes it's that you learn what you cannot have, and instead of looking for what you can, you're looking at what you can't have. And a lot of people started going, oh my gosh, I can't be healthy. How am I gonna be healthy the most natural way possible? Well, the most natural way possible is almost not in existence anymore. There's about 5 places on the planet that provide food with no extra anything in their farming, even in their country for that matter. New Zealand is one of them. You can't use pesticides and herbicides, hormones, and all that garbage. You can't use it. So the food's coming out of New Zealand. Okay, so now we're all going to get up and we're going to move. We're all moving. All 4 of us on this live right now. We're going to move. But they were looking for something that existed, but it was super minute and small. We were just starting. And then the second thing that people were looking for is, people were getting sick in 2020 really bad. And how do I stay home so we can keep our good germs in the home and not have to go out? I mean, everybody started doing DoorDash. You paid for it with a credit card and it got dropped off at your house. They were doing pictures or videos with them squirting it with, people were looking for a healthier way to do things, and they needed to stay home. They were taking care of kids. School shut down. How do you raise kids in school if there's no school? So they were looking for a way to make a living at home. Now, we already know the network marketing industry is always the boomiest business during a down market.
Correct.
So it was only a matter of time for us to take off, and anyone else for that matter. Mary Kay took off. I saw that. There were plenty other other things where businesses opened. Restaurants actually bought extra cars because they weren't open. They started delivering their own. They didn't want to pay a DoorDash guy. So because those were the 2 most searched, that is exactly what we offer. We offer nutrition at a cellular and DNA level. There's nobody that does that with whole foods out of New Zealand. The reason I mentioned it earlier is because I know that's where we get our nutrition. And then the other thing is that we offer an opportunity. You don't have to. I mean, some people just want to be as healthy as they can because they have a home business. They need to just stay healthy. So, but we do offer an opportunity for somebody to come in and just take a look. I am not a force feed, you got to sign here kind of a gal. You either want to be around me. So I think that people deserve to have information, and that's what I'm offering right now up until the 20th and even longer, but just because we're going to pre-launch on the 20th, I just want to give people information, and we've opened up Zoom so people can just jump on, hear what it's all about. If they have extra questions, they can call me. And that's really how we took off. I mean, the pandemic started right when we opened up for business. And so with people getting let go, going back to one income, people were looking for something. So I solve a couple things. I solve a health aspect, and I solve an income aspect. Now, I will say that we're the only network marketing in this part of the industry in health and nutrition to be awarded the top 50 global healthcare companies. And we're not a healthcare company. We are a nutrition company. We're nutraceuticals, and we're not in pharma. We're given it directly, so you don't have to go through the insurance and all that stuff. You can just go directly. So, but anyway, so yes, so solving 2 problems that are much needed. That's what I do.
Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, are you enjoying as far as this interview with the one and only Mrs. Tina Kong, aka Rock Me All Night Long? Let me know as far as in the comment section on what you guys are saying. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Can you also see the comments as well, Tina? I just want to make sure.
I cannot unless I turn my phone.
Okay. So we have here Brother Dave Anderson, hailing all the way from Reddick, Florida. We have here, let's see here, Dr. James said 31 years. We have Melvin Brown in the house. We have here Miss Cynthia Gray Vantina in the house. All right. She said, wow, Tina, you are remarkable. So she was giving you a shout out. Dr. James said, very remarkable, open mind. Let's see here. We have here, we are in the problem solving business. I believe that's what he said. And someone said, thanks for tuning into Transformation Greatness. So, you know what? The audience is definitely loving this interview, and I'm loving this interview as well.
Shawn.
Tina, I think you know where I'm going to go with this one, because this is something which I love to ask every single person that is an entrepreneur, right? I'm a type of person, you know this, and Dr. James know this. I'm not too big in labels and bells and whistles. That's not really my thing. Any any time that someone inspires me, I always love to learn. No, I can't talk. Always like to learn the backstory. Always want to know what inspired this man or woman, or young man or young woman, to become an entrepreneur, because everybody's why is different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's. So I'm curious, what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Shawn, that's got a lot of chapters to it. I'm not gonna lie, but
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm just gonna like pick. I'm gonna share some, and then I'm gonna pick a couple.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you that this particular venture, it did come to me through my experience going through cancer. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, because I had a huge mindset shift during that time. That was another reason. There are a lot of people that self-negative talk to themselves, and but they're incredible people. Like if they can just stop that one little piece,
Yeah.
that I mean, they'd be incredible, just like no stopping them. I mean, we'd really kind of all be sitting there like you do at an air show. Your head would be up watching them soar, your mouth would be dropped open, and you'd be probably mumbling
Yeah.
things like, wow,
Exactly.
right? So if we can help people with that. um, the other part was the science behind how people function. When I was really young, my mom used to always tell me, I don't know if there's a lot of people, I think it's a 70s mom thing to say, you can be anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. My mom used to go as far to say, did you know the human brain only uses 6%? What are we doing with the other 94%? Tina, you need to tap into that 94%. And so, and there's a lot of that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the main reason, and I think I was always an entrepreneur. I think I shared this with you, Shawn, in 2020. I used to take the Band-Aids out of my mom's medicine cabinet, and we were always skateboarding and riding bikes. I used to sell the Band-Aids to the kids that got 5 cents, and you can stop that bleeding. I just, oh,
I
you
can
need
relate
to?
to that. I
I'll
can
give
relate
you
to
10
that.
cents. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was always I was always trying to make an extra buck. I was always trying to help people at the same time. See that? I was stopping the bleeding, and it's gonna cost you though. So um I think I was always that. But what happened was I got sucked into what was told to me that I needed to do. I needed to finish school, and then I was told I had to get married. I didn't have to get a job, but I had to get married, and if I got a job, my job was still at home too. And I don't know, that part didn't set with me very well. But the part of getting something going for myself and staying at home, well, that totally appealed to me. I just didn't know how to get it until now.
Right.
And so but it was also the science to know that I can help somebody be healthy with nutrition the same way chemo was delivered into my body. It's the exact same thing. That's why the science is so incredibly, it's not really done out there.
Right.
So to be able to work from home, have an income, and then have something that helped heal me, it was just kind of a no-brainer. Um, and really truly it was being let go in 2020. I did help the team. It wasn't just me, but from the time I came on a year and a half later, I increased their revenue significantly. significantly. And it wasn't just all me. I know that it required a team, but becoming an entrepreneur and creating your own team, you get to choose who you want to work with. They choose you. The people that come on to work with you, Shawn, even as a client, they choose you. I mean, there's so many people out there that do what both of us do. They choose us. And
Absolutely.
if you're going to be chosen, show up, you know? So it's an honor to be an entrepreneur. I mean, not everybody can do it. They think they get to
Very true.
just sit at a computer and get paid. And well, you got to do a lot more than that. That's that extra, that's the other 90%, you know?
Oh yeah, there's a whole different strategy, and that's something me and my business partner we talk about all the time, right? You have those as an entrepreneur and they'll play at a different level, but in order for you to be successful and really reach that next tier, you really have to not only just work it online, but you have to really be an entrepreneur, you have to work all areas, all levels, all phases, and setting up multiple income streams. There's a whole entire system and science to it. And it's something that has to be done on a daily basis, not twice a week, not 3 times a week, not just on the holidays, but it is a commitment and it is a sacrifice. And
Is
that's where that's where the majority of people will say, "Oh, that's too much." Interesting. But you say that you're an entrepreneur, you say that you want this, this, and this, but you're not willing to do the activities. So what happens now, and you notice, this is where there's a disparity and there's an incongruency on that regard. And it's no wonder why the person is still doing the same things over and over and over, but yet expecting different results. We call that insanity, right? So
Shawn,
there,
I
there
have
you go.
I
There
have
you
to
go.
say, people show up all day long doing exactly what I do for someone else. And that someone else is the boss. And they go on vacations really whenever they want. They tell you what to do, you the employee. And I'm not saying you can't love what you do.
Right, correct.
I loved what I
Right. We're,
did.
we're not saying that. Right,
No,
correct.
I'm just saying, if you're going to show up so 100% for someone else to get their dreams, and you will be limited on what you can. It's almost like I was saying, I got sucked into that, what I'm supposed to do. I was limited on really what I could dream about even.
Mhm.
I mean, I did dream big, but then I negatively self-talked and I said, I'm not going to ever be able to get that, not on this pay, not
Right.
at this I have to be at work. You know, sometimes I got called in on Saturdays, midnight. You know what? I do that now, but I call the shots and I go on vacation and I can take my work with me. And it's just, and I don't just have to help one niche of person. I can help everybody. It's just an incredible liberating feeling. No, I have to work though. I do absolutely have to work and I still enjoy it, but but it's my dreams I'm working for. And I'm working for
Absolutely.
dreams that people share with me that they want. So
Ab-
I don't get anything in my life doing what I do, my business, if I don't help them. I have to help them not only be healthy, I have to help them earn an income or else I don't get paid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, with that being said, in this question here, it may sound silly to some people, but for others, it's a very serious question. 2023, why now? Why is it so important to let, the marketplace know of everything that you have going on in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your expertise, in terms of what products and services or opportunities that you provide to the marketplace? Why now? Why not just keep it all to yourself and just say, well, you know what? Hey, I'm just enjoying these benefits and I'm just going to keep on being in my own space, my own bubble, and screw you guys. Why now? This is what we want to know.
I personally think that secrets are another form of lying. And if you're not sharing it with anybody, you're not doing yourself any good. There's no reason to be on this planet by myself. So if I don't help people and help them to get where they want to get, and where they need to be in health wise. And no, I can't stop anyone from dying. I mean, I could if I, stepped into the line of fire, but I can't guarantee it's not going to go right through me and into you, but I can try. But people need this now. They need it right now. Jobs are no longer secure. There is, I mean, who was it? Google, Amazon? Somebody just let 18,000 employees go. 18,000 employees.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
These are moms, dads, brothers, sisters, aunts,
Exactly.
uncles, grandparents. These are your next door neighbors.
Correct.
Like if you have a favorite next door neighbor, you don't want the riffraff rolling in. I'm just saying you want your neighbors to stay there. They can't do it if they can't pay for the house. And so they can't do it if they get sick. I mean, the hospitals are hanging on to people, and some of them don't even let people come in and see them. I mean, nobody can get better if there isn't human compassion and human touch and love and family and community. They can't get well. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to stay healthy. We have to help each other. And so why right now? Because the entire planet needs it. They need this, right? They need Tina Kong. They need me right now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna pound on the desk.
That is what I call passion. That's what I call commitment. And that is from someone that you just heard that she understands her calling and she's willing to put the time and the work in. Tina, how can the audience get a hold of you? So are you just on Facebook? What are your social media handles? How can the audience get a hold of you?
So I am on 3 platforms. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All of my platforms start with Tina Kong. I am on almost all of your things, so people that are viewing can find me there. I will be posting very loudly who I am, what I am, and I want people to ask me questions. I want people to challenge my own knowledge of this. This is something I eat, breathe, and sleep. I wake up every day because someone needs to hear something. They don't have to say yes, they don't have to say no, but they need to hear what the option is. And I'm going to tell you right now, I started my business in the middle of the pandemic. It was August. I opened my doors August 1st. It was probably the craziest thing I've ever done, but I had to. There was no waiting. There was no waiting. It was a total leap of faith. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have the name. I don't have the name. I'm just going to say it. I don't have the name to give you of the new venture. But I'm going to tell you my whole entire team, I'm talking my entire 75,000 plus people, we are all doing it together. It's definitely a shift. We were probably playing too small, and we needed a much larger a platform. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be really shocked. There are I'm going to tell you really, truly, some of the biggest names in this industry are joining forces with us. There's no way we can keep this quiet. It's going to go all over the planet. We're going to be very soon. We will be in 114 markets. It's not something. It's Google, you guys. It's Amazon. It's Apple. It's a leap of faith. And I'm just telling you, I've got goosebumps all over me because I know that I can help you.
Powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes episode 45 from Transformation Greatness in the Small Business Network podcast. My very special guest here, Mrs. Tina Kong here. You have heard a story of resilience. You have heard that there was some fear in the midst of her story, but at the same token, you've also heard of someone that is driven, that has a passion for the people, and she has something that she truly believes can truly change people's lives. And if you'd like to get a hold of Tina Kong, by all means, she's going to put her social, she already told you her social media handles anyway, but make sure that you put it in the comment section as well. And so that way our audience can go ahead and, you know, start getting in contact with you. And also let me know as well. So that way we can go ahead and start sharing out on your social media handles.
I
And,
will for sure.
and also just as a quick general reminder, once again, guys, the talent show in which that we have, actually not talent show, but talent expo, right? That is something that is very, very exciting. So again, please take a look at the recent posts that I put. If that is something that intrigues you, or if you know someone that would be a great candidate for that, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. Let's go ahead and discuss more in detail. And of course, if you are looking as far as to be interviewed by this handsome gentleman here, or one of my amazing co-hosts for the Small Business Network podcast, please feel free to reach out to me as well. So with that being said, we appreciate you all. We thank you for all the comments. I can't read all of them, but give me some time. I'm going to go back and I'm going to respond to each and every single last one. So until then, if what we stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person,
At
may
least.
God be the glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, you're all amazing. Keep on shining. 2023 is our year. And until then, maybe the next episode.
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you for having me. Bye,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Good night, everyone.